Hello everyone, welcome to Wild Woodland Lavender Farm. This is day 2 of June on the farm, getting stuff done. So it's the afternoon here on June 2 and I don't feel like I've accomplished much out here at all except getting a sprinkler started. This day kind of got away from me because I forgot a son of mine had a dentist appointment at noon, so we had to go to that. And then we had a visitor come to the farm to meet our dog and see if they get along because, and I just got to show you, meet Bruno. Bruno is 5 years old, mixed pup. We don't know what he is, but his owners are moving to a place where they can't have him. He's more of an outside dog and they aren't gonna have much of a yard, so. And he also was kind of the underdog at their house with one of the other dogs, so wasn't really living that great of a life. So he's coming to live with us here on the farm. Currently his name is Bruno, but I think we're gonna end up changing it, but we don't know what to yet. So anyway, everyone, welcome Bruno. Yeah. He's a sweet puppy and he and Sidon seem to get along well enough for him to be able to come live with us anyway, huh? Yeah. So I had to show him around the property and make sure he got along with our dog and with our boys and everybody else around here. So that took up part of the day as well. And then we had another visitor, a man this time, not a dog. And he came to look at our farm. He's a friend of ours. He actually runs a lavender farm just outside of town here. And their farm is one of the inspirations for why I wanted to do lavender. And anyway, he also works with my husband, so they arranged for him to come out and see our property because he hasn't seen it yet. So we've been took him around the property and showed him all the things and what our plans are for it and all that kind of stuff. So I am just now finally getting to getting something done for the day, and today I have chosen to get some sweet potatoes planted. Now this last spring I did a harvest of sweet potatoes. I had just a few slips planted in a little raised bed over here, and that, I have to say, that's the video of mine with the highest views, which I thought was a little surprising. I was just harvesting some sweet potatoes, which I am in zone 7A, so it's not a typical zone for growing sweet potatoes, but I got a fairly decent harvest for only planting like 6, I think it was 6 slips. So I decided to grow sweet potatoes again this year, and I think I'm actually getting them in the ground earlier than I did last year, so we're hopefully going to get a few more and a few bigger sweet potatoes this year. So I have slips that grew from the sweet potatoes I planted last year, and then I also bought a few sweet potatoes from our local store here, and I have slips growing on those as well. So I'll just kind of show you what I did with those. And then right here I have a larger raised bed that was previously planted with things like rosemary, parsley, some arugula and giant red mustard and those kinds of things. It was kind of an herb and maybe salad greens raised bed. But I've cleaned it all out and I'm going to plant sweet potatoes in there, and I'm also going to plant sweet potatoes again in that other little raised bed. So let me just show you here. So first I just pulled off some slips that had started growing from the sweet potatoes we had, and I put them in this jar, and you can see they've got some nice roots going on there. Now these I actually have had in this jar for a few months now, so they're ready to get planted for sure. Then I started having more sweet potatoes sprout, and so I actually put them in a tub, just laid them in a tub with water, and I just refilled this with water earlier, and let them go from there, because I've seen people like put the sweet potatoes like down like this in a jar, you know, with toothpicks or whatever, just so that it sits in the water. And I thought, well, if that works, I could just put them in a thin layer of water in a tub, and that should work just as well. And it did. Let me just show you here how some of these turned out. Get these untangled a little bit. Woo. I'll show you this mess that I'm dealing with here. So you can see they just started growing roots from the slips. I thought it was from the sweet potatoes at first, and so I had started to take off the slips, you know, just taking off these right here to put in water so that they could root, and that's what this jar is right here. And I found that when I pulled them off, they actually had a bunch of roots that came with them. Now let's see if this does it for me. Yeah, see, that one only had a little bit of root. So I'm gonna stick that one in water. But like this one right here, it's already got a nice root system in it. So I just decided to let them grow on the potato rather than putting them in a jar and just keeping the tub filled with water. And then they'd be ready to plant. I'd just take them off the potato and stick them in the ground. So that's what I'm gonna end up doing. And see this one right here also. Take that slip off. It's got all those roots. And this one here. Look at that. See, I had thought they were just growing out of the potato, like these right here. But these are actually on the slip, so that's really cool. Now, I've read that the sweet potatoes themselves, like if you planted the sweet potato in the ground like you would a regular potato, you won't actually get sweet potatoes from this. It would just be the tuber with the plants growing from it, but no new tubers. I don't know. I've only heard that one place before, and I've not tried it. So if you know about that, let me know. So I don't know. I might keep this in there and see if it grows anymore, but I think it might be done. So these are ones that I bought at the store, and they're just now starting to get some longer on there, so I might leave these in a little bit longer before I plant them. So these are the purple ones that I planted last year. And then over here in this tub, these two right here were ones that I bought, and then over here are some of the orange ones that I planted last year. So I'm procrastinating a little bit because it's a little bit warm today. So I'm trying to stay in the shade, and the raised bed is in the sun, so I'm procrastinating a little bit to not go out in the sun. But I also need to get this done because I'm trying to get things done on the farm, right? So let's get out in that sun and let's get this done. So this bed is nice and long. I'd say it's 9 or 10 feet long and about 2.5 feet wide, maybe 3 feet wide. So I should be able to fit a good amount of slips in here. So let's get going. I think I'll start with the purple ones here. And we'll get those in down at this end. Okay, just gonna give these guys a good soaking. Even though, I don't know if you can tell, probably not, the clouds back there are kind of dark. We're supposed to be getting some thunderstorms rolling in for like the next 3 days. But I still want to give these a good soaking because sometimes we get like right between storms and we end up not getting any rain at all. You never know with our area. So I'm gonna get these watered and then we'll get the others planted in the smaller raised bed over there. The breeze that we have is sending a nice spray of the water right back at me, which feels good because I've been pretty hot. The sun is disappearing behind the clouds too, so that's helping. I hear thunder. Or that could be a jet. It's lasting a little too long to be thunder, so it's probably a jet. Okay, I think this is watered enough. Could probably use more, but I want to go get these other sweet potatoes planted before the thunderstorm hits us. So let's go get that done now. Potato was starting to get a little moldy, but the plant that was on it, the slip that was on it, seems to be okay. Might be a little moldy spot, but we'll plant it and see how it does. I think I am going to have too many slips for this raised bed, so I'm either going to try to fit in more in the other bed or find some actual ground to plant it in, because I have quite a few more and I have room for maybe 2 or 3. Yeah, that'll do it for here. So I think I'll go and fit these other ones in the other bed and then we'll be done and have another day's worth of tasks done on the farm. Okay, I am done planting the slips that are ready with roots, and these are what I have left. So I have all the ones from the store-bought sweet potatoes. I will probably let them grow a little bit more and then end up putting them in a jar of water to hopefully encourage more root growth there. So I have, I think 3 or 4, probably 4 of those sweet potatoes that are still growing stuff. And then I have 3 of the sweet potatoes that I grew last year that have the slips that still need root growth on them. I could probably just plant them in the dirt, but I want them to have roots on them just to have that stable system already. The system already in place to obtain nutrients for growth. And then on this purple one, I have 3 shoots that are ready to they need to be rooted. So that's it for today, June 2, day 2 of my June on the Farm series. Thanks for joining me. Make sure to join us tomorrow for whatever project we get done then. I have so many, sometimes it's hard to know what I'm gonna work on next. A lot of times it's just whatever the spirit moves. So anyway, we will see you tomorrow.